She walked onto the grass, and there she saw Hissy Snake and Tony Tree. And Tony Tree said, "We are mad at you." Oh took a step back. Oh almost fell over. Oh looked at Hissy Snake and said, "You are mad at me?" And Hissy Snake said, "Yes." And O couldn't believe it. O said, "Why are you mad at me?" Now, O didn't care so very much that the tree was mad at her, because she had never had much to do with the tree, but she thought that she was friends with Hissy Snake. So she was very disappointed that Hissy Snake was mad at her. So O took a deep breath. She didn't want to hear why Hissy Snake was mad, but she needed to hear what was going on. Why was Hissy Snake mad? So O said out loud, why are you mad at me?" And Hissy Snake said, "Because I lost my glasses." And O almost laughed. She even smiled a little bit. She couldn't help it. She said, "You're mad at me because you lost your glasses?" And the tree, who didn't like to be quiet all the time, said, That's right. Hissy Snake is mad at you because he lost his glasses." O looked at Tony Tree and said, "All right, Tony, would you mind, since Hissy is mad at me, if you stay out of it and let Hissy and I settle it?" And Tony Tree said, and shut his mouth, or shut the tree's mouth. Then she looked down at Hissy Snake and said, "I forget now. Tell me why you even need glasses." Hissy Snake said, "Because I'm trying to be educated. And I want glasses so that I can read books. I've been reading books, and now I lost my glasses. And I can't get reading no books no more." O knew that Hissy Snake hadn't pronounced that sentence exactly correctly. However, it didn't seem the time to be correcting when Hissy Snake was so mad. And O said, quite reasonably, "I don't think you're really mad at me, Hissy Snake. I think you're mad at yourself because you lost those glasses." Hissy Snake was really quiet for a second. Hissy Snake kind of dropped his head down a little bit. His tongue was almost touching the flowers. And then he looked back up at O and said, "Oh, you're right. I've been bad. I've been blaming you and mad at you when you didn't have anything to do with it. Why would I do such a thing? Oh, I'm a bad snake. Oh, and Hissy Snake hissed at himself. He is so mad. Oh, and couldn't help it. She had to laugh a little bit. She said, "Hissy Snake, now come on, don't be mean to yourself. First you're mean to me, now you're mean to yourself. I have an idea." Hissy Snake stopped hissing at himself and looked up at O and said, "Idea? What idea you got?" And O always got a kick out of the way Hissy Snake talked, because he hissed a lot, but he also didn't get his words in the right order all the time. But she stopped laughing because she knew it was serious, and she said, "My idea is that we will start looking. You and me and Tony Tree, even though Tony can't move around, he can look from kind of high up, and let's see if we can find your glasses." Hissy Snake almost barked. He was so happy. It was a kind of funny sound. He was kind of a funny snake. Anyway, he said, that's such a good idea. Oh, let's start now, can we?" And Tony said, I heard everything you said. I will look from up here. I am a tree, and I am tall. And Tony Tree started looking every which way. He didn't see the glasses. Hissy Snake was crawling every which way, and he didn't see the glasses. Oh looked around too and stepped a couple steps this way and a couple steps that way. Oh knew that she had to be careful, because if she didn't see the glasses first and stepped on them, it wouldn't do any good to find them under her foot, broken. So she stepped very carefully, and finally she spied them. Oh, she was so excited she couldn't believe it. There they were. They are on the other side of some flowers, laying perfectly still, perfectly okay as far as she could tell. And she said, Hissy Snake, come over here. And Hissy Snake crawled over and then kind of curled up so his head could be up a little higher, and said, what? And O pointed down to the ground on the other side of the flowers, and Hissy Snake was high enough that he could just see his glasses. And he went, oh, yeah. And O laughed, because Hissy Snake always made the funniest sounds. What kind of snake was he anyway? But Hissy Snake crawled over, put his glasses on. Oh, ran into the house and got one of her picture books. She sat down on the grass. Hissy Snake crawled up into her lap, and together they looked at the pictures and they sounded the words out. Cow, moo, horse, dog, wolf, flower. And their pictures, and then one word was right under the pictures. And they were both having so much fun, and they didn't even notice that Tony Tree was looking over the shoulder, and he said, I wish I had glasses too. And they both laughed, and Hissy Snake said, I will crawl up in the tree anytime you want me to, and I'll read you any story you want me to read to you. And Tony Tree said, you are such a nice snake. And O had to laugh, because it's true. Hissy Snake was a nice snake. When it was pointed out to him that maybe he was mad at himself and not at her, he understood and he made amends. And not only that, they found his glasses, and when they were reading the book together, Hissy Snake was really good at picking out pictures. And he said, building, lake, cake, shake. There were all sorts of words. There were all sorts of words that they were reading together and sort of knowing. And just then, O heard her mom say, oh, dinner time. And Hissy Snake said, you got to go? You got to go? And O said, yeah, I got to go. I'll leave the book with you. Why don't you take it up in the tree and read it to Tony Tree? And the last O saw, Hissy Snake had gotten the book in his jaws, and he was winding his way up into the tree, up into the limbs, so he could read it to the tree. And she ran up the steps really fast. She ran into the kitchen. Her mom and dad said, are you hungry? And O said, no. And then she laughed, and she said, I'm starving. And she sat down at the table, and she told her mom and dad all about her adventures outside, and they were really fun. And as often happens in stories, we've come to the end. The end, or as Hissy Snake would say,